If you're cruising after 70, this might be the most important video you watch before you set sail. Too many seniors board their dream cruise, only to face hidden health risks, unexpected bills, mobility challenges, or even miss their ship entirely. The truth is, what worked in your 50s or 60s may not cut it anymore. Cruise lines won't warn you. Travel agents won't tell you. But I will. As someone who's helped thousands of seasoned travelers cruise safely, I'm revealing 15 critical warnings, real risks, and costly mistakes you can easily avoid with the right prep. Miss just one of these, and it could turn your relaxing vacation into a stressful emergency. So before you pack your bags, join me and get ahead of the curve. Let's protect your time, your health, and your peace of mind, because cruising after 70 should feel empowering, not risky. Let's get started. Warning number 1, don't skimp on travel insurance. Medical emergencies, trip cancellations, or delays can be incredibly costly, especially for older travelers. A simple fall or an unexpected illness could lead to tens of thousands of dollars in medical bills or a costly medical evacuation that most standard health insurance policies won't cover. Purchase a comprehensive travel insurance policy that explicitly includes high-limit medical coverage and medical evacuation. Read the fine print to ensure it covers pre-existing conditions and any activities you plan to do. I had a guest on a South American cruise who had a minor fall in a port. He broke his arm, and because he needed to fly home for surgery, the cost of his medical evacuation was over $30,000. Thankfully, he had a good insurance policy that covered every penny. He told me, "I learned the hard way that a few $100s on insurance is the best investment you can make." Warning number 2, watch out for port-to-ship time. It's easy to get lost in the moment while exploring a new port. Miscalculating travel time back to the ship, getting stuck in traffic, or simply losing track of time can cause you to miss the ship's departure. This leaves you stranded and responsible for arranging your own travel to the next port. Always set a loud alarm on your phone for at least 2 hours before the ship is scheduled to depart. This gives you a comfortable buffer. Book official cruise line excursions for peace of mind, as the ship is guaranteed to wait for these groups. An experienced couple in their 70s once got so caught up in a local market in Rome that they missed their bus back. They arrived at the port just as the ship was sailing away. They had to spend over $1,500 on a last-minute flight and hotel to meet the ship at the next port. It was a costly and stressful mistake that could have been easily avoided. Warning number 3, book a lower deck cabin. Guests prone to motion sickness or with mobility issues can find higher decks uncomfortable. The higher you are on the ship, the more pronounced the motion and the longer it takes to navigate to dining rooms or shore excursion gangways. Opt for a cabin on a lower deck, ideally midship. This location experiences the least amount of motion and is generally closer to the ship's main dining areas and embarkation points, reducing the amount of walking required. My aunt, a seasoned cruiser, used to book balcony cabins on high decks for the view. After a few cruises where she felt queasy in rough seas, she switched to a lower deck interior cabin. She now swears by it, saying, "I feel more stable and I get a better night's sleep. I'd rather have a great night's sleep than a view I only use for an hour a day." Warning number 4, get a doctor's checkup before you go. Unexpected health issues can arise while traveling. Without a recent checkup, you might not have all the necessary information or prescriptions to handle a flare-up of a chronic condition. Onboard medical care is for emergencies and cannot provide routine care or medication refills. Schedule a doctor's visit a few weeks before your cruise. Get a clean bill of health and ensure all your prescriptions are filled with enough medication to last the entire trip, plus a few extra days in case of delays. A guest with a pre-existing heart condition had a minor episode on board. The ship's doctor needed to know his medication details and recent test results, but he didn't have them. This led to a stressful few hours as the doctor tried to get information from his home physician. It's a simple mistake that can cause unnecessary panic and delay proper care. Warning number 5, don't overdo it on shore excursions. The desire to see everything can lead to exhaustion, dehydration, and injuries. Many excursions, even those labeled as easy, can involve a lot of walking on uneven terrain, long bus rides, or climbing stairs in the heat. Choose your excursions wisely. Read the descriptions carefully for phrases like strenuous walking or long bus ride. Consider half-day tours over full-day ones, or choose a scenic tour that involves less physical activity. There's no shame in taking it easy. I saw an elderly couple book a moderate walking tour in a historic European city. They were not prepared for the cobblestone streets and hills. By the end of the tour, they were so exhausted they spent the next 2 days recovering in their cabin. A simple scenic drive would have been a better fit for their energy levels. Warning number 6. Be aware of luggage limits. Overpacking is a common mistake, but for older cruisers, handling heavy or oversized luggage can be physically taxing and even dangerous. It can lead to back strain or falls, and the extra fees can be a surprise at the terminal. Pack light and efficiently. Consider using packing cubes to compress clothing. If you have a lot of luggage or mobility issues, look into a luggage delivery service that will pick up your bags from your home and deliver them directly to your cabin, and vice versa. I've seen guests struggle to lift heavy suitcases onto conveyors or downstairs. One woman in her late 70s strained her back doing this before she even got on the ship. Using a luggage delivery service or simply packing less would have prevented her from starting her vacation with an injury. Warning number 7. Don't ignore the muster drill. The muster drill is a mandatory safety drill, yet some people treat it as an inconvenience. They may try to find a way to skip it, thinking they know everything they need to know. Take the muster drill seriously. It's a chance to learn about your specific muster station, the location of life vests, and the signals for an emergency. This knowledge could save your life in a real crisis. An ex-crew member once told me about a guest who refused to go to the muster drill. They were eventually escorted by security, but they had a terrible attitude about it. This is a life or death situation, not a chore. The crew takes it seriously, and you should too. Warning number 8. Be aware of the ship's doctor. While ships have medical centers, they are not full-service hospitals. They have limited supplies, staff, and a singular focus on stabilizing a patient for evacuation. The cost of a visit can be very high, and it's not always the best place for a complex medical issue. For non-emergencies, it's often better to wait until you are in a port with a quality medical facility. For emergencies, the ship's doctor is an invaluable first responder, but remember their primary role is to stabilize you. Never, ever cruise without comprehensive medical travel insurance. A guest with a recurring medical issue went to the ship's doctor for a routine checkup, thinking it would be free. He was shocked to receive a bill for over $500, which his insurance would not cover because it wasn't an emergency. It's an expensive lesson that the ship's medical center is not a walk-in clinic. Warning number 9. Use hand sanitizer. Cruise ships, like any confined space with many people, are hotbeds for germs, including norovirus. It's easy to pick up a bug from a shared handrail, elevator button, or buffet utensil. Use the hand sanitizer dispensers located all over the ship, especially before and after meals. Wash your hands frequently and thoroughly with soap and water. This is a simple but highly effective way to prevent illness. I once saw a couple on the last day of their cruise who had been stuck in their cabin for 3 days with the norovirus. They told me they were so careful with everything, but they had forgotten to use hand sanitizer before the buffet. It's a simple mistake that ruined their vacation. Warning number 10. Don't underestimate the risk of slips and falls. Slips and falls are the most common cause of injuries on cruise ships, especially for older passengers. The combination of a moving vessel, wet decks from pools or rain, and high traffic areas creates a hazardous environment. A fall can lead to serious injuries like fractures, sprains, or even head trauma, which can ruin a vacation and have lasting health consequences. Exercise extra caution and awareness. Always wear comfortable, low-heeled shoes with good traction, especially on deck and in public areas. Use handrails whenever possible, and be mindful of your surroundings, particularly around pools, in bathrooms, and on staircases. I had a guest in her mid-70s who was so excited for a formal night. She wore a beautiful pair of high-heeled shoes that she didn't realize were quite slippery. As she was walking down the grand staircase, she missed a step and took a nasty fall. She fractured her wrist and spent the rest of her cruise in the medical center. It was a terrible end to her trip, and she told me later, "I wish I had just worn my nice flats." It wasn't worth the risk. Warning number 11. Be aware of the ship's schedule. A cruise ship is a bustling place with a constantly changing schedule of events, shows, and dining times. It's easy to get overwhelmed or miss out on a key event if you don't keep track of the daily itinerary. Every day, a daily schedule is delivered to your cabin or is available on the ship's app. Take a few minutes each morning to review it and highlight the activities you want to attend. This will help you make the most of your vacation. A couple in their 80s missed the final show on their cruise because they didn't realize it was at an earlier time. They were so disappointed, and it was a simple mistake that could have been avoided with a quick check of the daily schedule. Warning number 12. Don't overdo it on the buffet. The all-you-can-eat buffet can be a trap. The vast selection of rich foods can lead to overeating, indigestion, and an upset stomach, which can make you feel unwell for the rest of your trip. Be mindful of what you're eating. Take small portions and avoid mixing too many different types of food. If you're feeling full, stop. The food will still be there tomorrow. I've seen so many guests with upset stomachs on the second day of the cruise because they went all out at the buffet on the first day. It's a classic mistake. Pace yourself and enjoy the variety over the course of the cruise, not all at once. Warning number 13. Be aware of the ship's accessibility. Not all cruise ships are created equal when it comes to accessibility. Older ships, or those with unique designs, may have limited access for wheelchairs or walkers. This can lead to frustration and a sense of being excluded from certain activities or areas of the ship. If you have mobility issues, research the ship's accessibility features thoroughly before you book. Look at deck plans, read reviews, and call the cruise line's special needs department to confirm that the ship can accommodate your specific needs. An elderly guest in a wheelchair booked a cruise on an older ship that he didn't realize had many staircases and narrow doorways. He was so upset that he couldn't access many of the public areas of the ship, and he felt like he was a prisoner in his cabin. A simple phone call to the cruise line beforehand would have saved him a lot of heartache. Warning number 14. Don't forget your medication. Forgetting your medication is a potentially life-threatening mistake. The ship's medical center has a limited supply of common medications, and they may not have a specific medication you need. Make a list of all your medications and check them off as you pack. Bring enough for the entire cruise, plus a few extra days in case of a travel delay. Keep your medication in your carry-on luggage. I once saw a man in a panic because he had left his heart medication in his checked luggage, which had been delayed. He was so worried, and it was a simple mistake that could have been avoided. Always keep your medication with you. Warning number 15. Don't let age be a barrier. Some people may feel that cruising is for a younger, more active crowd, or they may feel self-conscious about their age. This can prevent them from trying new things or enjoying all that a cruise has to offer. Embrace the experience. Cruises are designed for all ages, and there are activities for everyone. Don't let your age be a barrier to having a good time. I saw an elderly woman who was nervous about going to a dance class on a cruise. She was so worried about not being good enough. She finally went, and she had a blast. She told me, "I was so worried about what people would think, but everyone was so nice. I wish I had gone earlier." So there you have it, 15 warnings you must watch before you cruise after 70. I hope these insights give you a new perspective on the cruise world. Remember, understanding the inner workings of a cruise isn't about being cynical. It's about being informed. It's about being a savvy cruiser who can get the best experience possible. What's your top tip for cruising after 70? Hit like if you found this video insightful, and subscribe to Cruise Pro for more honest advice and essential strategies for making the most of your time at sea. Share your own great passenger tips in the comments below. Until next time, take care and happy cruising.